Hello friends, today we are going to do the magic ring. Are you ready? You have probably looked at so many videos on how to do the magic ring and they're all, to me, very confusing. You have to wrap the yarn around 2 fingers and then make sure and make an X and then go over and under one and pull up and twist and oh my goodness, I just want a ring, right? So today we are going to go over the magic ring in easy way because I'm all about easy and fun and it should not be frustrating to do crochet. So with that said, let's crochet that magic ring. When you make a circle, you are going to start out very small, but as you build on it, these are called rounds. So with each round that you build on, it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So you will need to add stitches to each round. In this example, I have 6 in the beginning. Then I'm going to have to add more stitches and more and more, and I'll show you how we calculate that. Although you'll never have to calculate it. It'll be in the pattern. Most patterns start with 6 stitches in the magic ring. And if you think of those 6 stitches as a piece of a pie, we are going to look at one slice of that pie, one single crochet stitch, and build up on that one single crochet stitch so you can see how each pie, it'll all fit together, but each pie, each round will have more and more. All right, so I know I'm not explaining well, so let me try this in demonstration. Your first round will have 6 stitches in it. But you need to have more than 6 stitches on your next round. You are going to need 12 altogether, which means you need 2 stitches for every 1 stitch that you have in your single crochets. And so on and so forth. Your next round, you're going to have more than 2 stitches. You will need 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. All the way around for each slice of the pie. And if there's 6 slices of this pie, times 3, 6 times 3 is 18, so you will have 18 stitches all the way around. So you will first start with 6 stitches, then you'll have 12 stitches, then you'll have 18, and the next round, in each slice, now you're going to have 4 stitches, times 6 is 24. It'll all be in the pattern, so don't worry about the numbers if that's really freaking you out, but I'm just trying to tell you that you need to add more stitches every time you go around. All right, let's give this a shot. And by the way, this is how you abbreviate magic ring. And this is the last in our list, woohoo, of the new stitches we'll learn. So for the magic ring, I'm going to explain the slip stitch first. When we did chains, we started with a slip stitch. We brought the yarn down over our tail, and then we chained 1, and that was our slip stitch right there. And then we could chain and do lines back and forth, but this is a circle, so we have to do it a little bit differently. So instead of bringing this down over the tail, we are going to bring it under the tail, like that, and hold it closed. And then pretty much the same thing. You reach through, grab a yarn, pull it up, and chain 1. Now don't let go. I'm going to try and show you what it looks like, but if I let go it might fall apart. Okay, so that's the loop and the tail. Hold those together. We're going to do a single crochet into the loop. Go into the loop, pull up a yarn, and crochet 1. Now you can let go. There it is. So now we have to grab the tail and the string, and the loop, sorry. Now we have to grab the tail and the loop, and whoops, we're not doing doubles, we're doing single crochets. We're going to do 6 single crochets into the magic ring. That's my second one. Here's my third one. Here's my fourth one. 5. And 6. So now we have 6 single crochets on our circle. And then we also have the tail back here. Now we're going to close up the circle and make an actual ring out of it. How exciting. So pull on your tail, and you can be pretty brutal with this. You can pull hard, but see how it closes it up? And then you can bring it around. To close up our circle, we need to start stitching into the first stitch. Now this one right here looks like the first stitch, but remember we made that chain, and that's what that is, the chain. So that's not going to work. Skip over the chain and go into your first stitch right there. One way to close this up is to do a slip stitch, and it'll look all nice and neat, and ooh, that's cool. And then chain one and start crocheting again in the circle, and I'll show you that in a minute. The only reason I don't like this is because when you do a slip stitch and a chain and then start crocheting again, it ends up looking a little bit wonky in that whole area that you've done slip stitch, chain, begin, slip stitch, chain, begin, and all this. And it just looks a little wonky, and it doesn't look as nice and neat as the rest of the circle. So I don't do that when I'm doing circles. I just make spirals. So this is how I do spirals. Oops, don't lose that one. Okay, so we've just pulled our circle tight. We're going to skip the chain and go into the first stitch. And here is where we need to put 12 stitches all the way around. We had 6 stitches for that first bite of pie, but then higher up we need 12 all the way around. And each stitch is going to get 2 stitches. That is called an increase. In this case, it's a single crochet increase because we're doing single crochets, and we're going to increase the number of stitches in this one single stitch that we're working in. So we do a single crochet, and then right in that same exact stitch, right where I did it before, I'm going to do another single crochet. So I have 2 single crochets out of 1 single crochet. And we're going to do that all the way around for a total of 12. Into the next stitch, single crochet, and in the same stitch that we just did, single crochet. So that's a total of 4. Here is 5 and 6 in the same one. 7 and 8 in the same one. 9 and 10 goes in the same one. Yep, you got it. Now this last stitch here looks very big, and it just always gets stretched out, so don't freak out about it. This is 11 and 12. 11, 12. Okay, so now we have 12 stitches. Look how round our circle is. Isn't that cute? All right, the next level up is going to need 3 stitches for every 2 stitches. So the way we're going to do this is 2 stitches here, 1 here. 2 stitches in this one, 1 here. 2 and 1, 2 and 1, 2 and 1. And we're going to end up with 18 all the way around. 1 and 2. And then 3. 4 and 5. Some of these stitches are kind of small and you wonder how they're going to work, but they actually do. And then 6. Let me pull out more yarn. Okay. 7 and 8 go in this one. 9. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Ooh, we're getting to the end. and 18. All right. Every time you add a round, you're going to stitch 2 and then add 1 so you can add up to the number you need. So this one we just did 2 and then 1. So the next round we're going to do 2 and then 1 and 1. Here's what we mean. 2 in this one, so 1 and 2, 3, 4, because we remember we're doing 4 stitches for every slice of the pie, and there's 6 slices, so we're going to end up with 24. We just did 4, so 5 and 6 are here, 7, 8, 9 and 10, 11, 12. Sorry if I ran off the camera there. 13, 14, 15, and 16. Gosh, I'm concentrating so much on what I'm doing, I'm not even making sure I'm in the shot here. All right, so 16 is what we're on, and we need to go to 24. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. All right, we've made it all the way around. Now, see how nice all those stitches are? Compared to, I know I didn't do as big a job as this one, but this one has these wonky stitches in it. So keep doing spirals, it'll look very nice. When you are done, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to stop right now and show you what you can do to make this look amazing when you're done. So when you're done, leave, oh, I don't know, 5 or 6 inches or so. I do 5 or 6 just because I like extra string. Then you're going to grab your needle, darning needle, and thread your needle. Yarn your needle, I guess. I did pull out the loop, so it's just coming out of that stitch, and it needs to be. All right, here is how we're going to hide the end of this so it doesn't look weird and loopy and all that stuff. The next stitch we would go into is right here. But we are not going to go into that one. We're going to skip that one and go into this one. Pull it through. And then we're going to go down and into where we just came out of. And then pull until it's the same size as all the rest of the stitches. This is called an invisible join. And since I know where it is, and I kind of scrunched that yarn right there, so I can tell where it is, but someone else just looking at this hopefully can't tell which stitch you ended up on. Then when you're done making that stitch, just sew in your ends, weave in your ends, because people don't like to sew, so don't use that word. It's one thing about these big darning needles, they don't go into small spaces very good. So you just weave in, grab a couple yarns there, here and there. Try not to go in the front of your work so people can see it. Just kind of stick in the back. And then pull through. Looking good? And when you're done, you can just trim this off. All right. And you can trim that off too because it's already attached. All right, there is your circle from your magic ring. Have fun, and we will work on a really cool project next time with the magic ring. See you then.